Good morning and welcome to Cranes of the Lakehouse. This is Gail Howarth reporting. You can see that both Billy and Rosebud are still here in the yard. That means they have not yet laid eggs, the much anticipated activity that we're looking forward to. Once they do lay the eggs, there will only be one bird that will come to the yard at a time. They will take turns keeping the eggs warm and eating. And so we're excited about that, and hopefully I can report that that has happened soon. I wanted, in the meantime, to talk about some memorable birds. In 2009, Lydia and Roger had two colts. They were born on May 5th, and that's why they were named their names. They were named Diane after Mama T, who had a birthday that day, and then an uncle that she had, she was incredibly fond of. This man was one of those larger-than-life kind of guys that loved nature and maybe invited animals to live in his house along with him. And so he passed away that day, and so the names of the Cranes were Bud and Diane. Now, these two colts were drastically different right from the beginning. The feminine bird, Diane, was very much a lady in the way that she sat down, she sat gracefully, she tucked her legs underneath herself, and she truly enjoyed my garden the most for laying down in, which disturbed me, but I also enjoyed that she was there. Whereas her brother would lean back on his knees like he was a cool dude. Also, Diane, when she would walk, she would run with her wings flapping, and it just helped her to grow those muscles that you need so much more quickly than her brother Bud. Now, another thing that Bud did was that when he would drink out of anything, especially my bird bath that I had in the backyard, he would actually look like a teapot. He would lift one leg up and tip it back as he tipped his head forward. The activity really tickled me, and I would chuckle every time. So there was one particular day when I noticed a big commotion down on the marsh. Roger and Lydia were calling, and I could tell that they were talking to their kids, and they were trying to get them to do something. And soon it became clear. Diane ran, and she flew up into the air and had the most graceful takeoff, and she flew from the marsh directly into my garden. And then Roger and Lydia called and danced and tried to get Bud to do the same thing, but Bud was not excited about this first flight. Finally, he stumbled, he kind of tripped, and he got about 20 feet up into the air, and then he nosedived into the marsh. Well, Roger and Lydia flew up to the yard and joined Diane, and about 20 minutes later, very humiliated, muddy Bud walked up the hill and joined the rest of the family at the bird feeder, where the family did not really even acknowledge that he was there. It was a very, very sad moment for Bud. That's all for today. Thanks for joining me.